Just start with what Myles did. Obviously, sparks that 50-point second quarter for you with 15 in there, but more to the point, gets you 10 rebounds, 7 blocks, a lot on the defensive end in the second half. Just what do you like from him on both ends, especially after a slow start?
Yeah, he was great, and he missed. He went out in the game on that Thursday before All-Star break, and there were a lot of days where he missed a couple of the games. He missed 3 games, I guess. He missed Lakers, New York, and Washington, and then felt better on the Saturday of the break, and then came back, and then we had 2 pretty hard practices, to get guys' lungs opened up and try to get their conditioning and all that. And at the beginning of the game, he was feeling it a little bit. Got him a rest a little quicker. Then he got back in, got a second wind, and a lot of great things started to happen in terms of shot making. But in terms of the other stuff, he was huge around the basket. The 7 blocks was enormous in this game. And when he gets a double-double, we're very, very difficult to beat.
You obviously mentioned the shot making there. I mean, you go from obviously, I think he and Ty were like 0 of 7. I think you guys were one of your first 9, and then you have a second quarter like that when you post up, I think 1.8 per possession. I mean, just what was it? A lot just first quarter out of the break. I mean, just what changed so drastically from quarter 1 to quarter 2?
Well, I loved the process, and we were getting great looks, and the first 8-10 minutes of a 48-minute NBA game is nothing. And if you are doing things well process-wise, you got to keep doing them well. And so, in the timeout, in the first quarter, I said to the guys, "Hey, listen, first game out of the break, there's going to be some misses, but we're getting great shots, and just keep stepping into them. And if you don't step into them, you're coming out of the game." And that was the right message. And look, we need to be a team with a great shot profile. We've got to be a team that's getting to the rim and getting good looks at catch and shoot threes, and the guys did a good job of manufacturing those tonight against a very good team. And it was a major fight from start to finish. They hit us hard at the beginning. We hit back. They hit us in the third, and we were able to slug back in the fourth.
To continue on the process discussion, obviously Tyrese gets going a little bit in the second quarter. It seemed like you guys had a lot of actions to get him loose around Wells. Obviously, he was a guy that really face guarded him in that first matchup in Memphis. What did you like process-wise about what was able to kind of get him going downhill and get him some clean looks, especially the screening stuff that just seemed like it opened a lot of stuff up for him?
Well, we have a friend of ours who's a German coach who's the assistant coach for the New York Liberty, who's been visiting for 3.5 days. He's also Sandy Brondello's husband, and they coached together in New York. And we had him draw up the first play of the game, knowing how they were going to play Wells. And we got a great look, but unfortunately it just didn't go down. But as you come into a game like this where it's going to be physical, they're going to really key on the best players, you got to think about ways to get them open, and it also falls on him and Pascal, who are the guys getting a lot of the attention, that they got to also be resourceful and find ways to get themselves involved in the game. The game at Memphis, Ty didn't take a shot until I don't even know if he took one in the first quarter, and we that's not our game. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to be aggressive to run the team and to get good looks. And tonight I thought he did a very good job of doing both.
Drew, I think Morant was 1 of 8 at halftime, somewhere in that range. I mean, just obviously it's not all just one guy in that case doing it, but I mean, just what did you like about what Drew did, how you guys were able to keep Ja from getting going, and just your overall just defensive performance, especially the pressure you're bringing?
Well, Morant made some really difficult shots in the game, and in the second half he got in there in a crowd and somehow got the ball in the basket a few times. But Drew's a guy that loves those challenges, loves trying to make it hard on the best players, and he did a lot of good things. And the other great thing about Nembhard is that at the other end of the floor he can attack as well. And a lot of times teams try to put weak defenders on him, and and he can go at those guys. And when they try to put weak guys on Aaron, you saw what happened tonight. Aaron crashed and got us, 2 or 3 big offensive rebounds. And so it's such a game of inches now. Each minute detail is so important that as a team, you got to focus in on all those little things.
So you mentioned Aaron. It seemed like Aaron and Ben both gave you just kind of the best stuff that you can expect from them. Obviously, Ben was getting downhill and getting some buckets to the rim. Aaron hit some big time shots. Just what you like about what you got from each of those guys on both ends and just the production they brought?
Well, it's a great 1-2 punch. It's really a 1-1 punch. I mean, these guys they bring different things to the team. It doesn't matter who starts. I think they played identical minutes tonight. In the third quarter when we got bogged down, Mathurin, helped get us back going again. He made a couple difficult shots, got to the free throw line. And I really like the way he's approached this over this 3-game period. And when he gets in the game, we call his number right away and look to get him heated up because he's very important to us. Back there, okay.
Hey, Coach. Going into the fourth quarter after kind of your lead getting cut bit in the third quarter, what did you discuss and want to focus on as a team to maintain the lead?
Well, we had a good run at the end of the third to get the thing back to, I think, 11. I don't know what it got down to. Did it get down to 3 or 4? 4, okay. And look, they're a momentum team, and they are one of the most competitive teams in the league. So they're gonna keep coming. Our messaging was all affirmative messaging. Keep doing this. Keep attacking. Keep getting back. Keep containing. All right, and let's contest 3-point shooters. And the other thing we did well was we rebounded. I mean, I think we out-rebounded them by 1. This is the number 1 team in the league, I believe, in rebounding their own missed threes. And when you're in a comeback mode like they were getting a lot of them up, and we came up with a lot of them. So that was important. But it's just keying in on the same basics that are important to our team and just staying true to them and, being uncompromising.
So obviously, Myles, your first half was just a journey, starting from obviously missing your first 4 and ripping like you did in the second quarter. Just what was it like, just kind of getting yourself back in the flow of things after the time you missed, and finding your rhythm back just in the course of that?
It was a little difficult at first. You're trying to find your legs. Mentally, when you miss a few shots and you kind of get down on yourself. But I got to give a lot of credit to literally everybody on the bench. I kind of started to get in my own head a little bit, and everybody says, yo, keep shooting. You're a 40% shooter for a reason. Shoot the ball. From the coaching staff down to the end of the bench. Everybody encouraged me to keep shooting. So, it really kind of picked up my own spirit, and, I knew I needed to lock in, in that second quarter, and I was able to do just that.
What goes through your head when the first one goes in? Like when it feels like the lid's on there and then you hit one, just how much does that kind of get you?
Oh, yeah. Any shooter will tell you, like, once you make that first one, it feels like, the bucket gets that much bigger. So I think it was key for me to see it go down, obviously, but it's also key for me just to keep my mentality the same way. I think we're going to keep playing in a drop, wide open shot, you have to shoot the ball.
I think one thing Rick said was that even though you guys were missing a lot of shots in the first quarter, he really liked the process in terms of like what you guys were doing to get open looks. It seemed like both you and Ty had some clean ones early that didn't go down. He said, hey, just keep stepping into these. How did you guys view that? I mean, did you feel like you were getting just really good operation and just missed shots in the first quarter, and did that keep you going in the second?
The synergy was there, man. I think me and Ty, obviously, over the years, we developed a synergy, and anytime we play against, drop bigs and whatnot, we know either he's going to get a shot or I'm going to get a shot. It's just a matter of, the cadence of the game. So I think we started to figure it out. I think he started to get some shots going down. I started to do the same thing. That opens up, the floor for everybody else.
Obviously, in the first one, Jalen Wells was kind of face guarding him, and I don't know that Ty had a shot in the first quarter, might have made it on the first half, and he kind of just sort of stayed back and kind of let you guys operate 4-on-4. It seemed like you guys were making a point of targeting him with a lot of screens, making sure that Ty got some opportunities to go get downhill and open things up from there. Just how important was that piece to it, and what did you feel like you guys did well operationally in some of that ball screen stuff to kind of get him freed up, and then, like you said, get you freed up?
Yeah, well, not only Ty's confidence, but just our offense in general. He makes a lot of things go. I forgot what game it was. Only shot the ball like 3 times or something like that, and we knew we couldn't let that happen again. So I try to make it a point to get him as open as I can. Setting hard screens. Like I said, doing what I can to make him get downhill. So I think that he was able to put up think he's just shot 17 shots. So I mean, that's on par for a night for him. So we got to continue to keep him, getting him looks like that because the teams are going to play him in multiple ways.
10 blocks or 7 blocks,
I
10
wish.
rebounds.
I'm gonna get there one day. I'm gonna get there one day, bro. Trust me.
Yeah, I believe it. But obviously, just what you're able to do around the rim. This obviously is a tough team that rebounds really well, gets a lot of points in the paint. Just how big was that piece for you? What do you kind of feel like you were able to do well, timing up some of their shots around the rim tonight?
Yeah, you said it's just timing. I think the first time we played them in Memphis, I couldn't really quite, I guess, get the rhythm of what was going on. But like whether it was Ja, Bain, a couple of those guys were driving downhill, able to they were just, I don't know, they were crafty. And then I kind of sat back, watched a lot of film, honestly, on this team over the break. I knew it was going to be the first game back, and was able to kind of pick up on some tendencies. So whether it's like jabbing, faking, or just committing, I think, obviously, blocking shots is what I do. I've been doing it for a very long time. But, whenever I have nights like this, I know it helps our team, mentally.
What I think Rick was just saying, just you getting back from the injury, it took a minute for you to kind of get the win back. I mean, just what was it like physically tonight to get back in the rhythm? At what point did you feel, I guess, close to normal?
I was gassed, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think that it's kind of a mind over matter. I think we've been doing this long enough to know that if you're in between the four lines, don't nobody care how you feel. So, I was able to turn myself up to another level. I think I just kind of put it all to the fact that I knew we had 2 days to rest and just leave it all out on the floor. So it wasn't easy, but it's we don't get paid to go out there and do it easy.
Just want to ask, Drew, obviously, you talked about just dealing with Ja and stuff like that, just how important you expect that obviously for Drew with some of these assignments, but how good was he tonight? I think Ja was one of his first 8. Just how big was it just him starting?
Drew's he's been incredible all year, honestly. I think he takes on these matchups, he takes it personally, and it's hard for him to. I don't know, man. It's hard to guard the team's best player every single night, and then have the ball in his hands as much as he does offensively too. So I got to give a lot of credit to him. I think just in his first 4 years that he's been in the league, he's taken on a multitude of roles and taken on them really well.
You passed Reggie Miller tonight for the franchise's all-time rebounds list. What does that mean to you to pass a great like that?
Oh man, I don't even want to get started on this one because I'm petty. You know what I mean? And I feel like I get a lot of flack for not rebounding, and I always continue to do just that. I think it's dope anytime you can, solidify yourself in any top 10 list, wherever you're at. But, yeah, man, it's for all the haters out there. I love it. All right.
Yes, sir.
What obviously first quarter took a while for you guys to get going. So I think you and Myles were 0 for in the first quarter, but I think Rick said that he just really liked the process. He felt like you guys were getting good looks, and you said just keep stepping into them. And obviously 50-point second, just what changed, what got better, and what did you like about just how you guys responded and put together a 50-point second quarter?
I mean, we just started making shots. I feel like we're getting really good looks. Between me and Myles, some very good looks early in the game, and just missing them. And I think it's over the course of the game. We work really hard. We spend a lot of time in the gym, so I have faith that they'll fall if we just keep putting them up. So, just sticking with it. Our processes were good. We were getting good looks, and shots just started to fall for us. But I thought we did a better job. I thought we did a great job defensively, getting stops, allowing us to get to the rim a little bit more in transition. Then, once you see the ball go in once, then you feel a lot better about it. So, thought our defense, kind of spearheaded by Drew and Double A and Myles, those 3 guys, really started to break a lot defensively and allowed us to do, what we do offensively.
So obviously after that first game in Memphis, you were dealing with Wells, and certainly he was face guarding you. And I think the first quarter you kind of stood back and you guys got 45 in that one. But it seemed like you were making a point to really attack him with ball screens, get yourself an opportunity to, get downhill and get some looks that way. What did you think you guys just did well, and just how much of a focus was on that was springing you loose from him in this game? Yeah,
well, having played him, earlier in the year, and having kind of 2 days to go over, how we wanted to counter that. I think Coach had a really good plan, and we just spent a lot past 2 days in my individual workouts and in our team practices of they've been having the coaches and the interns and everybody just follow me the whole time. We got to figure out how to get the ball and do what we do offensively. So, I think it can be tricky when you play a team like Memphis because the way they defend. They will face guard, not let you touch the ball, and it's easy to fall into the trap of just trying to let the team play 4-on-4, but then you're really playing into what they want. And so I thought we did a good job of countering that. I think just kudos to our coaching staff.
of paying attention to that the past couple of days, and thought that allowed our offense to really thrive.
Obviously, Myles misses his first four, but gets rolling in that second quarter, and certainly was a big part of that springing you loose. I mean, just how important was he tonight? How big was it for you guys just after you missed him for a couple games to see him get rolling like that and play like he did on both ends?
Yeah, it's obviously good to have him back. What he does, what he's done since I've gotten here the past 3 years of shooting the three ball at the top of the key is, he's the best in the league at it every year. And so, it's a different dynamic guarding that, defensively, especially out there with a big guy like Edey out there. His job is to protect the rim, and Myles can really counter that with his three-point ability. So we're just trying to, capitalize on that as much as we could. And it's his first game back in a while. Probably didn't make as many shots as he wanted to. But I mean, he had 7 blocks, and I thought he really anchored the game defensively down there. Really stepped up for us. So he's a very integral part of what we do, and why our offense has been so good over these last couple of years. And so to get him back really helps.
Ty, you had 16 of your 28 points from the bench in the first quarter. Just how important were they for that first quarter, and then just for the rest of the game as well?
Yeah, I thought they stepped up really good for us. Our first group, we really struggled to make shots between me and Myles, and we just didn't really make shots offensively in the first quarter. So our bench came in and gave us a much needed boost, and that's why we feel like we have one of the best benches in the NBA, and we trust those guys to step up. When we're slacking, and understand there's going to be games where they're not as good as they need to be, and we'll pick it up. So that's just we're thankful for the depth of our group.
So this team obviously has a lot of weapons, but they've been most successful when you've scored, I think, 17-2 this year when you scored 20-plus points. Do you feel like you're finding the right balance between how aggressive to be from a scoring standpoint?
I did tonight. I think it's been an up and down year for me offensively. And I think that there's been a lot of games where I might not have asserted myself enough, or just overthinking, not shooting enough, passing up good shots. I probably had a couple incidents of it today, so I'm just trying to – I watch a lot of film. My trainer, Drew, is always on me to shoot the ball more and just be more aggressive, because, good things happen when I'm aggressive and getting paint touches and really shooting the ball. So I'm just trying to pay attention to it and trying to be as good as I can, and, keep learning every game. Feels like there's been a lot of that people say low lows and high highs. I feel like I've had a lot of low lows and just not high highs, whatever is in the middle. I feel like I haven't had many games this year where I feel like I was really good offensively. So, it's a great part of having that All-Star break, kind of getting to kick my feet up and relax and reflect on what the years looked like for me and how I can be better moving forward. So, we got about 28 games left of the year, just trying to keep getting better every night and just doing what I can to help this team win. Shout out to Tony. Tony got married. Shout out to Tony. Huh? Margot and Tony. Shout out to Tony. Are they on their honeymoon? They are. Where are they honeymooning? Can't tell you that. You know? You don't know. Shout out to Tony.